The Indiana Fever played the Chicago Sky on Barbie night.
The Indiana Fever are a better team than the Chicago Sky.
Caitlin Clark took over Chicago. She signed autographs for hours.
Signing autograph after autograph after autograph after autograph. This is Barbie night.
People are showing up just to witness Caitlin Clark. It's like she's the damn Beatles.
It just happened.
Caitlin Clark went to Chicago and took the city over. She took your trap over.
Angel Reese watched as Caitlin Clark walked into her city and stole the spotlight. No jersey, no minutes, no problem.
It was more fans running. They was running down on Caitlin Clark like she was Michael Jordan.
Fans swarmed Clark like she was Michael Jordan. Autographs flying, cameras flashing, and not a Reese chant in sight.
Caitlin Clark unlocked millions for the WNBA.
I don't think you can have a more great role model than Caitlin Clark.
This isn't a rivalry anymore. It's a takeover. Comment 100% if you stand with Caitlin Clark. Let's break down how Caitlin Clark just owned the WNBA again without even stepping on the court.
Give Caitlin Clark all the miles so she won't. She running Chicago, the queen of the rack.
Chicago was ready for a showdown. What was billed as one of the WNBA's most hyped matchups, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, was circled on calendars across the country.
The Chicago Sky said, oh, we got to move this huge Caitlin Clark matchup into a bigger arena. And Caitlin Clark said, yeah, you do that.
The league moved the game from the Chicago Sky's regular Wintrust Arena to the much larger United Center, home of the Bulls.
A superstar, the superstar, the biggest thing that there is moving right now. She is undoubtedly the face of the league. She is the needle herself, the ratings mover, the attendance drawer.
Why? One reason, Caitlin Clark. It wasn't Angel Reese. It wasn't about team records or playoff positioning. It was about her, the draw, the phenomenon, the star.
Caitlin Clark comes into your town and fills your building in a way that you can't fill it. I don't hold that against Angel Reese. It's not exactly news that Caitlin Clark is more popular than Angel Reese.
Caitlin Clark has become the WNBA's version of a rock band on tour. Every city she visits sees a spike in attendance, ticket prices, and fan energy. And this game proved it once again. Here's what's wild. Caitlin Clark didn't even play.
People are showing up just to witness Caitlin Clark. It's like she's the damn Beatles.
Still, thousands of fans poured into the United Center just to catch a glimpse. She was injured. She wouldn't take a single dribble, but none of that mattered.
People didn't know whether or not Caitlin was playing that game until the very end. There are hundreds of fans that were there to see Caitlin Clark.
Indiana Fever fans and Caitlin Clark fans took over Chicago. Where are all the Chicago Sky fans at? Where are you guys at? Oh.
The building filled with people wearing Fever jerseys, kids holding signs, teenagers waving pink Barbie towels. They weren't there for a team. They were there for Caitlin Clark, and she delivered in her own superstar way.
Of course, she's got to do her pregame fashion show. I don't know if this is Barbie fashion or if this is just what Angel would wear on any other day. How did we ever watch basketball in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond without getting the pregame fashion show? And I'm talking about the men too.
Before tip-off, while Angel Reese was focused on her pregame fashion show during Barbie night, Caitlin was doing something that actually mattered to the fans.
Caitlin Clark spent 20 minutes signing autographs. She made her way 2/3 of the arena. She signed literally hundreds of autographs.
She walked around 2/3 of the arena, signing hundreds of autographs. For over 20 minutes, she stopped for every kid she could reach. Posters, basketballs, towels, photos. She signed them all. No diva behavior, no security rushing her off. Just Caitlin fully present, giving young fans a moment they'll remember forever. The reaction? Electric.
CC get treated like MJ in the rack. Oh my God. Caitlin Clark getting treated like Derrick Rose, Michael Jordan, Chief Keef, Lil Durk, all of them.
Fans called her MJ, the Beatles, a movement. Some said she was treated like Chief Keef or Derrick Rose in their hometown prime. That's not casual praise, that's icon status. Earned.
This is why I say, Angel Reese, you need to stop trying to attach yourself to this girl at every turn because you cannot measure up. You don't have as many followers you have on Instagram. That is great. I will not take away from the fact that you are one of the bigger brands in the WNBA. You are a star in your own right, but you are not Caitlin Clark. It's a difference.
And meanwhile, Angel Reese, yes, she was in the building, but she wasn't moving the needle. There were no chants, no swarms of fans following her around, no viral moments of her signing for kids.
You need to stop trying to attach yourself to this girl at every turn because she has officially come to your trap and taken over your trap.
She posted up in a glittery outfit and watched as the crowd made it painfully clear who they came to see. Local Chicago Sky reporters even admitted the truth.
Folks, this game was 19,000 tickets sold. They reported 19,000. That's how many tickets sold. Of course they're going to report that. That makes it look good.
Despite a reported 19,000 tickets sold, the crowd felt split, if not tilted, toward the Fever.
When Caitlin Clark comes to town, you break out the big boy arena. A huge WNBA tilt didn't quite live up to the billing. Disparity between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, we've established. She has attached herself so intimately to Caitlin Clark, but I do believe it's encouraging. Not that people would have bought those tickets in the first place. What was circled on the calendar as being a huge WNBA tilt that didn't quite live up to the billing because the star players were not in uniform.
Barbie night at the United Center was supposed to be fun. Pink jerseys, glitter, themed merch, and a matchup between two of the biggest names in women's basketball, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese.
Angel Reese, well, she was there too, also not in action, but, well, you know, wherever Angel goes, there's going to be some kind of action. It was Barbie Day.
But what unfolded showed two entirely different worlds colliding. One built on authenticity and love from fans, and the other built on appearance and attention.
Now, before we get into Caitlin Clark signing autograph after autograph after autograph after autograph, look at this couple right here. Y'all seem sadder now. Thanks. We massively overpaid for Fever tickets, and Caitlin Clark isn't playing. Oh, I feel bad for you. They swallowed the pill. They bit the bullet. They went there anyway. Whether they drove from Indiana, whether they're Chicago natives, they bit the pill. They swallowed the bullet, and they went anyway to watch Caitlin Clark sitting there on the bench.
Let's start with Caitlin Clark. She wasn't even suiting up to play, still recovering from injury. Yet she made the entire night about the fans. Before tip-off, she stepped into the crowd and went on an autograph marathon.
Caitlin Clark spent 20 minutes signing autographs. She made her way 2/3 of the arena. She signed literally hundreds of autographs. She signed hundreds of autographs. And if you guys didn't see that game today, there were as many Fever fans as there were Sky fans.
For over 20 minutes, she walked around the arena signing towels, shirts, posters, balls, even just scraps of paper, from hundreds of eager fans. Kids screamed her name.
Caitlin Clark took over Chicago. She signed autographs for hours. This wasn't no extras that was paid to come stand in the scene. No, these were real people trying to get autographs. And then we got Ice Cube bombing on Angel Reese, talking about, man, she's not worth the money that Caitlin Clark was worth. Caitlin Clark unlocked millions for the WNBA. Oh, we gonna get into all of that.
Grown men asked for photos. Families with daughters waited hours just for a chance to wave at her. She didn't rush. She didn't fake it. She made real memories with real people. That's the kind of impact you can't buy, and Angel Reese doesn't have.
Angel Reese, well, she was there too, also not in action, but, well, you know, wherever Angel goes, there's going to be some kind of action. It was Barbie Day. Of course, she's got to do her pregame fashion show. I don't know if this is Barbie fashion or if this is just what Angel would wear on any other day.
Now, what was Angel doing? She wasn't playing either. Instead, she hit the court like a runway. Wearing a bedazzled pink outfit, matching heels, and a confident strut, Reese made her entrance a fashion statement. She called it Barbie Day, and all eyes were on her, or so she thought. Cameras flashed, sure, but no one was rushing to get her autograph. There was no swarm of kids running to her, no parents pushing through crowds just to shake her hand. The energy wasn't the same, not even close. In fact, it's become a pattern. Every time Caitlin Clark is in the building, she becomes the center of gravity. Her aura, her humility, and her clear love for the game and its fans pull people in like a magnet. She's not just famous, she's beloved. And even when she's hurt, she shows up for the people who support her. That's rare.
It comes up all the time. I mentioned around All-Star, where anybody calling it an All-Star break is out of their mind. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, while she's got a break from the action,
Angel Reese, on the other hand, has grown more and more focused on how she looks than how she leads. Pre-game outfits, viral tweets, villain-era branding. But when it's time to show love to the crowd, when it's time to give back to the kids in the stands, silence. Here's the honest truth. Fans know what's real. They can see who's about the game and who's about the spotlight.
Angel Reese, well, she was there too, also not in action, but, well, you know, wherever Angel goes, there's going to be some kind of action. It was Barbie Day.
People weren't showing up in Angel Reese jerseys. They were wrapped head to toe in Clark's number 22. They weren't chanting for Reese. They were begging just to be in the same room as Caitlin. The difference couldn't have been clearer. Caitlin Clark is a movement. Angel Reese is trying to keep up. Even Ice Cube made it plain.
Sorry, Angel Reese, the $5 million offer was only for Caitlin Clark.
When asked why he offered Caitlin $5 million to join the Big Three but not Reese, his answer was simple.
Ice Cube, because Ice Cube has come out and given everybody some brutal truth, and there is a portion of this that just tells you everything that we've been telling you. This is just confirmation.
Clark unlocks millions. She's different, and he's right. Clark's brand isn't built on controversy, outfits, or conflict. It's built on heart, on love, on impact. While Angel staged a fashion walk, Caitlin created memories. While Reese posed for cameras, Clark signed for kids.
What happened to Miss Angel Reese? She's all in Indiana during All-Star and her Reebok campaign, come to your trap, take over your trap. What happened to that? Because it looked like Caitlin Clark went to Chicago and took the city over.
Signed over 200 autographs, was out for a long period of time, signing for fan after fan. So trying to make sure, that she still is accessible to the fans here and helps create memories for so many of them. Here was Caitlin continuing to sign.
The Indiana Fever played the Chicago Sky on Barbie night. People are showing up just to witness Caitlin Clark. It's like she's the damn Beatles. It is like she is the damn Beatles.
While Angel wanted to look like a star, Caitlin showed us she already is one. The fans have made their choice. The energy isn't equal. One connects, the other competes. And on Barbie night in Chicago, the world watched two futures. One authentic, one artificial, and they flocked to Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark took over the city of Chicago, and this is the star power that Ice Cube was referring to. Every city, every state, anywhere in the world that she goes, it's gonna look like this. It's gonna look like pandemonium.
Once upon a time, this was called a rivalry. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. The NCAA tournament lit the fire. The media poured gasoline on it, and the WNBA was supposed to reap the rewards.
That you were born with.
Yeah, so my parents were my heroes, they were very young. And when you're young at home and missing a hand, they're going to do everything they can to try to find a creative way to help you get through life, right? And doctors were telling them there's this hook that you can strap onto your arm, and it may help you pick things up or hold things or do things in a kitchen or a classroom. So I got fitted for that. And it looks like something out of your Twitter. It looks like something a little medieval almost. But it was so rudimentary. It was so heavy. It was so awkward. I did wear it to kindergarten my first day. I think I wore it for a little while after that. And that was the first time that I realized that I was different, because you you grow up under your parents' roof and you play with kids you see every day in the street. And it's not until I walked in that classroom with a bunch of strangers having this big prosthetic hook on my hand, there were just so many awkward glances and just the difference, hit me very, very hard and very, very quickly that first day of school.
Two powerful women, two iconic names, one fierce history. But let's stop pretending this is even a fair fight anymore. Because what was hyped as a rivalry has now become something far more one-sided. Caitlin Clark has pulled away, and Angel Reese is just trying to keep up.
This is the star power. Every city, every state, anywhere in the world that she goes, it's gonna look like pandemonium.
Reese had her moment, that now famous championship game where she pointed to her ring finger, played the villain, and tried to assert herself as the new face of women's basketball. But here's the truth. Her entire national spotlight was built off the back of Caitlin Clark's name. That's the moment that introduced Angel to millions. Not because of her skills, but because she taunted the girl everyone was already watching. And since that day, nothing's changed.
Indiana Fever fans and Caitlin Clark fans took over Chicago. Where are all the Chicago Sky fans at? Where are you guys at? Oh.
Angel Reese is still trying to stay in Caitlin Clark's orbit. But Caitlin, she doesn't even look her way. While Angel pushes narratives, leans into drama, and plays the heel for clicks, Caitlin just keeps showing up and being the moment. She doesn't need theatrics. She doesn't need shade. She doesn't even have to speak on it. Because everywhere she goes, she's the story. The arenas fill for her. The networks adjust for her. The WNBA moves differently when Caitlin Clark is involved.
Caitlin Clark adding a little carpal tunnel to her groin issue.
Angel Reese wants this to be personal, but Caitlin Clark makes it look professional. There's no comparison anymore. And the proof is everywhere. In Chicago, the building was electric for Caitlin, and she wasn't even playing. Fans showed up wearing her jersey, screaming her name, lining up by the hundreds just for an autograph.
A nice win for the Indiana Fever. They are now doing enough where taking off the pressure from Caitlin Clark to return even more so she can come back at full strength.
Meanwhile, Angel was posing for Barbie night, flashing cameras and flaunting outfits. But the energy, it didn't follow her. The crowd didn't move for her because the people came for someone else.
Signed over 200 autographs, was out for a long period of time, signing for fan after fan. So trying to make sure, that she still is accessible to the fans here and helps create memories for so many of them. Here was Caitlin continuing to sign.
Caitlin didn't say a word. She didn't post a thing. She just quietly walked the concourse, signed towels and posters, smiled at kids, and let her presence speak. And that's the difference.
Then Caitlin Clark's out the last time, and the Sky, they did suffer a Courtney Vandersloot injury. She had the devastating injury early in the season.
One is trying to manufacture the moment. The other just is the moment. Even Ice Cube, a businessman, not just a fan, made it brutally clear. He offered Caitlin Clark $5 million to join the Big Three because in his own words, she unlocks millions.
Caitlin Clark took over the city of Chicago, and this is the star power that Ice Cube was referring to. Every city, every state, anywhere in the world that she goes, it's gonna look like this. It's gonna look like pandemonium.
Angel Reese didn't get that offer because the numbers don't lie, the hype doesn't lie, and the fans, most of all, do not lie. Sure, Caitlin's had a tough season.
Why couldn't we just finish the play with our wig on the floor? You know what I mean? Why couldn't we have just finished the play with our wig on the floor? I mean, people lose their shoes all the time.
Injuries have kept her off the court more than anyone expected. Her shooting has dipped. She's had rough patches. But despite all that, she's still the most powerful figure in the league. That's the part Angel can't touch. Even at her lowest, Caitlin's star still shines brighter than everyone else's peak.
CC with MJ. CC get treated like MJ in the rack.
With all new WNBA merchandise, Sky jerseys,
Give Caitlin Clark all the miles so she won't. She running Chicago, the queen of the rack. Because it looked like Caitlin Clark went to Chicago and took the city over. It looked like she took the city over.
The so-called rivalry is over. The fans have chosen. The league has chosen. The culture has spoken. Caitlin Clark isn't in a back-and-forth battle anymore. She's on her own level, in her own lane, building something way bigger than the drama Angel Reese tries to stir. This isn't Jordan versus lame beer. It's Jordan versus someone who keeps yelling from the sideline, hoping you'll look their way. But Caitlin Clark doesn't need to look. She already won, and she's doing it without saying a word.
Fever dog! But also, let's take a moment for KK, okay? She's that moment today. She's that girl always. Thank you. Nothing like getting a nice little dub.
I think so. I mean, I think it's hard not to when you don't get a lot of rest and recovery. No, I always think the WNBA season is like this sprint marathon, and you see more injuries when you don't have a chance to recover. But it's not like individual teams are the only ones that deal with it. This is a league-wide collective issue. So and I also think you see the NBA, for example, has a similar cadence, but they've got 30 teams, and they're not quite as much crisscrossing time zones, crisscrossing the country. So it's the challenge of the footprint of our schedule, no doubt.
So while Angel Reese keeps trying to keep up with the outfits, the headlines, and the noise, Caitlin Clark is out here changing the game. She walks into your city, your arena, your moment, and takes it.
I don't think you can have a more great role model than Caitlin Clark.
She didn't just steal the spotlight. She stole the fans, the love, the respect, without needing to play a single minute. Chicago saw it. The league felt it. And Angel Reese, she was there watching it happen. Again, this isn't a rivalry. This is a takeover. And whether the haters like it or not, Caitlin Clark runs the WNBA now. Drop a 100% in the comments if you stand with Caitlin Clark, the real face of the league. We're just getting started.